It's Warriors NRL Fanatics here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a great Monday. And yeah, I'm here to review the game on Sunday afternoon between the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the One New Zealand Warriors, which was played at Accor Stadium on Sunday afternoon. And yeah, I'm going to review the game, give my overall thoughts, go through standout players, stats, all that sort of stuff, as well as I did manage to go back and watch the game again today. But of course, watching it live, I went back and watched it back on replay today, and went through a few things on the game, had a look at it, and yeah, I'm here to give you guys my review, my overall thoughts on the game, and few standout players, and yeah, some key talking points out of the game because there's so many key talking points, and yeah, the news that just broke about the regards to Mitchell Barnett. I will touch on that a little bit later on in the stream. I'll give my real thoughts on that and what it means to the club. But yeah, obviously, you guys would know, just broke not long ago on Mitchell Barnett with the ACL injury, which is a real gutting news to hear. We saw him come off in the second half against the Rabbitohs. So yeah, I'll touch on that real shortly. We'll touch on that and a few other talking points from the game. But hello to everyone in the chat. So if you are here, give the live stream a like, please, guys. Hit that thumbs up button on the live stream. It does also help. And yes, it does push the content out to more viewers as well, and also is much appreciated. Just click that thumbs up button, guys. Click that like button. It does also show your appreciation for the content. And also make sure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel. More importantly, if you are a new viewer, returning viewer to the channel, subscribing is absolutely free. And yeah, we're trying to get to 3K subscribers. So help us get to 3K subscribers. And we want to get there real soon as well. So I know we're getting real close there, but like, share, and subscribe. Plenty of Warriors content to come every week. Reviews, previews, opposition fans on the channel too. We have that. And yeah, just the general Warriors content on the channel. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And like the video, like the stream, and share the video as well. Share the live stream and interact in the live chat as well. If you are here, make sure you do send in your comments or your questions into live chat, and we will put it up on the stream as well, and I will read them out as we go along. So hello to Tans in the chat. Good to see you, Tans. Kiora, hope you're doing well, Tans, in the chat there. Good to see you there. But yeah, the game. We'll talk about the game first. And boy, obviously going into this game, Warriors coming off the loss to the Raiders at home the previous week in a very close game. And South Sydney, they were coming off a bye. And of course, they had a win leading into that bye as well. So South Sydney going into this game was sitting in the top 8, and we were sitting in third spot. Well, we actually dropped to fourth going into the weekend before this game. So yeah, obviously we welcome back Mitchell Barnett, which is a big inclusion for us. We welcome back Fisher Harris to the 4-pack, which is a massive boost for our 4-pack. But yeah, we also saw the likes of Rocco Berry return to the side as well. So, look, obviously, beginning of this game, and obviously with these two sides, it was going to be a really tough game. I thought it was going to be a really tough, close contest going into it. I was no doubt about it, nervous, confident, but really nervous about this game. But look, the way we started off pretty. We started off pretty well, actually, and yeah, it was in the 35th minute. But the Warriors actually do win a captain's challenge again. We have been very successful with the captain's challenges this season. And yeah, look, Kurt Capewell didn't actually knock on the ball in the ruck. And yeah, the Warriors got their first bit of slice of field position to get started with. And yeah, it was a great kick by Luke Metcalf. Perfect kick, actually. And Dylan Wachini-Zelezniak leaps up to take it, grounds ball, and the Warriors are up 4-0. Now, Luke Metcalf misses the conversion. He doesn't convert the try, and it's 4-0 to the Warriors. So a very good, solid start by the boys there, getting that early try on the board. And it was great work by Metcalf, obviously with the kick, and it was you know for me brilliant to see that we were able to you know convert that chance to kickstart the game, and then 4-0. So 4-0 to the Warriors. But the two ill-disciplined penalties in a row, which gave South prime field position. Now, in the 32nd minute, one was Mitchell Barnett, and then the next one was Adam Pompey with nothing really in the tackle, to be honest. It was a slight shoulder, but it was a penalty. It was the correct call. And yes, Souths do hit back with a try to Keon Kolmatangi. It is 4 points all. And it was actually great work there by Souths with Lockie Hubner, soft hands. And Mitchell converts. So look, Latrell Mitchell converts the try at 6-4. So 6-4 to the Rabbitohs to lead the game. But yeah, it was a good hit back by South. Very disappointed, obviously, to concede that try after, scoring the first try of the game. But South did some great hard work there to get over the line. And that was a very good try for Souths. And Keon Komatangi, of course, Luke Metcalf was marking up on him. And they were always going to, that was always going to be a tough try to stop, especially with Keon Kalmatangi close to the line. You don't want to give him those opportunities. But yeah, 6-4 to the Rabbitohs, and the Rabbitohs lead the game. But Charles Klugstad, I thought, was having a very good start to this game. Man, he was putting a lot of work in, a big shift on the field. Lots of people, in the Warriors community want to see, Tane Tuapiki take over Chance Nickel Klugstad at fullback. And look, I think people are really underestimating what Chance Nickel Klugstad has been doing this season so far for us. So, look, I think you can see what Chance is doing. His workload on the field. He's already up there in the stats in terms of meters made throughout the start of this game. And yeah, look, I think he was having an absolute blinder of a game throughout the first half. But, also he continued on because he made a try-saving tackle on Bentley Harper. And Bentley Harper, his foot touched the sideline. And Souths were very close to getting another try, but it was a great try-saving stop from Chance Klugstad. And, of course, Bentley Harper couldn't, go over because his foot was on the sideline. So, yeah, another big, good moment there by Chance Klugstad. CNK, his defence. A lot of people criticise Chance due to his tack, but his defence is always spot on. He always gets through the work. So, he was having a brilliant first half there for me. But CNK, man, just outstanding for the first half, and he was absolutely brilliant, I thought. But look, with 16 minutes remaining, the biggest concern was Mitchell Barnett. It was in the back end of the first half. And yeah, look, unfortunately, coming off with a knee injury, which is an ACL injury, which has just been confirmed this afternoon by the club. It doesn't look good. It looks like a season-ending injury. So, no time frame on the news in regards to how long it'll be out for, but it doesn't look good, and signs aren't great at all. So, real shame there. Mitchell Barnett, man, he tried to play on, but he couldn't. He had to come off the field. So that was a massive blow for us. Massive blow. Real gutting. Really sad to see. Barnett's form's been absolutely brilliant this season. Played very well for New South Wales the other day as well in Origin. So it's a real shame. Real shame. And it really, puts a lot of pressure on our other four-pack players to step up. Especially the likes of Fisher Harris and that. So really gutting once he came off the field. Fearing the worst, obviously, there with Mitchell Barnett. But yeah, look, 20 minutes of the half to go, and I did feel like Souths were actually coming on top of us. I felt like we were really struggling. I felt like fatigue was getting, in the team. I felt like we were struggling, to get out of our own end. Half the time we were just trying to get out of our own end. So yeah, it was tricky the last couple of minutes, despite scoring that first try. That's what I thought personally. And yeah, South's just looking like physically on top. Defense was on song. Their completion rates were very high as well. Our completion rates weren't too bad throughout the first half, which was great. We're known for being a high completion rate side. But yeah, look, in terms of the defence, I think the defence of South were getting on top of us throughout that first half. Well, after they scored that try, when they got that try to Keon Komatangi, I felt they were starting to build some momentum in their game, and we were just hanging in there. That's what it felt for me. So, look, only 6-4 at the time. And then I think lots with 11 minutes remaining here was when a repeated set of six, and then we grab we actually do go in and grab our next try, and actually no, we didn't. Sorry, we my mistake there, guys. We actually we gave them another try, to be quite frank. But it was a Luke Midcalf missed pass, and he unfortunately, he had a bit of a mixed bag to start this game. He had a few missed kicks, a horrible pass, which probably wasn't the best pass to make. In all fairness, and you don't want to give someone like Alex Johnston an opportunity, and he got an intercept, and he ran the length of the field, and the Bunnies go over for the second try of the game, and it's suddenly 14 points to 4, and that's when things are really starting to favour the Bunnies for the half of footy. So at 14-4, I thought we needed to be the next to score before half time, and with 8 minutes remaining, Rocco Berry goes over to score what was I personally feel was a crucial try needed for the boys, to get some confidence back. Look, I didn't think we were doing too badly at that point, but we were sort of momentum was starting to really go against us. So at 14 points to 4, when South scored that try, I was thinking to myself, just keep it at 14-4. If we can get another try before the break, that would be great, because we can start gaining some ascendancy on the scoreboard. But yeah, Rocco Berry goes over to score. I think it was a kick by Jackson Ford as well. So a little bit of a try assist from Jacko Ford there. Looked like Jacko Ford was actually going to go of himself and score, but he wasn't able to do so. But Rocco Berry actually grounded the ball, so he pounced on the loose ball. And on replay, I thought Jackson Ford was going to, I thought it was going to be a penalty try. I thought that, he was going to be penalised. I thought Souths were going to be penalised for that, but it was play on. They said nothing was wrong with the contact on Jackson Ford. So yeah, Rocco Berry pounces on that and that loose ball, and he goes over to make it 12 points to 8. And then the big crazy moment, which was unbelievable, was Luke Metcalf missing the kick right in front of the post. And yeah, I was absolutely shocked by that. Really surprised, because it was such an easy kick. But I didn't know what happened there. But he unfortunately misses the kick. It went wide, and yeah, it was like, well, hopefully that kick doesn't come back to bite us. And goal kicking hasn't been Metcalf's strongest point this season. So that's a bit of a concern. That goal kicking is still a bit of an issue for the Warriors, but yeah, Metcalf misses that kick, and it's 12-8. So 12-8, and then look, 7 minutes remaining in that first half. 12-8 was the score, and then with 1 minute and 17 seconds, a very good play here. It was a long ball from Egan on the right to Metcalf to chance Nico Klugstad CNK beats a few defenders and he goes over to make it 12, or with a kick to come. And once again, Chance Nickel Klukstad again involved in the play, and he gets a try, which is just sums up how good he was playing in that first half. And then Metcalf converts a try, and it's 14-12, and the Warriors go into the break leading 14 points to 12. So at 14-12 at the break, I was reasonably happy with the first half. The back end, especially where we managed to get our crucial try going into that halftime shed. So I was pretty happy with the aspects of our game for the first half. There's quite a few moments I would say maybe we could have done a bit better. But yeah, look, defensively we weren't too bad in that first half. A couple of penalties as well. Couple of those moments, which were pretty ill discipline. I think our discipline was what Chance Nickel Klukstad talk about when going into the break. He was talking on Foxley how our discipline was something that we needed to work on, and I agreed our discipline was not great at all, with a few of those penalties at halftime. So that was the thing that I thought if we can fix that up, we could go a long way to getting the win. But yeah, the second half. Wade Egan, look, again, Wade Egan was causing a lot of trouble around the ruck, especially. And Valmoanga actually coming onto the field provided plenty of impact. He was actually part of this play, and in particular with the offloads, a lot of second phase footy. Now, the Warriors actually did offload the ball quite a lot throughout this game. Something that we really tend to do, but it was good to see us show some second phase footy, and I think our attack was a lot better than what we've seen over the first couple of games of the season. So, which is good. But the second phase footy, which was troubling South's defence, and Valboanga provided plenty of impact. He made a bit of a error as well early around this game, but I think he was playing particularly well off the bench. But yeah, look, Egan, Chance Nickel Klukstad, and Valmoanga all involved the play, and Leka Haliasima with a right foot beats the few defenders, and he's just too strong, too good. Goes over to score the first try of the second half, and it is 18 points to 12. So 18-12, the Warriors lead, and it was a good start to the second half for the boys there. Fourth try of the season as well for Leka Haliasima. So he's right up there with Luke Metcalf. Luke Metcalf, of course, leading the way for the Warriors in the top try scorers tally this season so far. So it was great to see Leka get over the scoreboard, get over the try line again. So 20 points to 12. With 30 minutes remaining. And then from there on, the Warriors just, didn't complete a set. So they didn't complete a set after scoring points, which was very obviously there's a couple of moments, we had it, we've been scoring we scored a try, and then we've not completed a set, and it's the second time we've done it throughout this game. So again, giving Souths another opportunity with possession. But luckily for us, they really didn't make the most of that position. And it was really Latrell Mitchell, one of their key players, one of the important players for Souths, making the error. And it was a terrible pass from Keon Kolmatangi, actually. And, it was a pretty, look, I think just, a pass under pressure. You throw it to Latrell and expect Latrell to pick it up. But it wasn't a great pass from Keon Komatangi, to be fair, and Latrell makes a mistake. Now, Luke Metcalf, in space, man, he's way too quick, scores a try, runs 80 metres to score, and it's his 8th try of the season. That's right, 8 tries for Luke Metcalf this season. He's turned out to be a try-scoring wizard for the Warriors in 2025. And again, a crucial try for the Warriors because, again, it goes and it stretches our lead out to 24 points to 12, with 28 minutes remaining. Still lots of time left on the scoreboard there. Unfortunately, Metcalf yet again misses the conversion, and is 24 points to 12. And unfortunately, throughout this game, I am saying Metcalf misses a lot of kicks. Yeah, it's something that the Warriors might need to have a think about with the goal kicking. I think that you've got to have your question marks, but like he has missed a few kicks this season, which you'd hope come the back end of the season maybe he can step up and improve on that area. And look, I'm sure he will, but is there a question mark to be had about maybe selecting another goal kicker? I don't know. That's the question I have for everyone in this chat here. But look, I still think personally I have faith in Metcalf to continue on that goal kicking role. But yeah, you don't want to be missing too many come the back end of the season and in the big games as well, especially when it's close like this. So. Real shame there, but 24 to 12, it was a great try for Metcalf nonetheless. And yeah, we stretch out, lead out even more. So just going into the chat, we'll get back into the review. So we've got Janet. Hello to Janet in the chat saying here, just been announced Mitchell Barnett rest of the season. Yeah, very gutting. We'll talk about that even more at the end of the stream. Hello to TSG, too good for us. Hello to Mel, good to see you in the chat, Mel. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, guys, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. It does also help. Make sure you click that thumbs up button, share the stream, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you are a new viewer or a returning viewer to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. It all does help. And yeah, we'll try and get to 3K subscribers. So I know we're getting really close, but do subscribe if you haven't done so already. But yeah, so for those of you just joining, I'm just going through the game, each moment by moment, and yeah, giving my thoughts, of course, and we'll touch on a few things at the end of the stream as well as to the New South Wales Cup jersey flag and also the injury news as well. We'll touch on the other stuff at the end. So yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to put them through the chat. Questions, comments, I will answer them once I finish my review of the game. So. Hello to Tahi Bro, good to see you in the chat as well. Good to see you, Tahi Bro. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, from there on, at 24 to 12 with 28 minutes remaining, relatively I'm confident. I know it'd be crazy to say this is a Warriors fan. We've been through a lot of close games this year, but I felt like the scoreline was getting a little bit more comfortable for me. But in saying that, I just wanted to see us continue on, and that's the thing, I wanted to see us continue on, keep piling more points on the scoreboard, put more pressure on South Sydney to, try and, try very hard to make a comeback out of it. So at 24 to 12, you usually as a Warriors fan, I say, look, shouldn't get overconfident, but I was getting confident enough that it was a good enough lead. But knowing there's a lot of time left, of course, the South seems still more than capable of producing a comeback if someone like a Latrell Mitchell, provides a bit of impact, which, he did throughout the back end of this game. So at 24 to 12, the Warriors led there. And then, yeah, with 25 minutes remaining, the South Sydney Rabbitohs actually did have a bit of a backline shuffle. And Bentley Harper, he unfortunately came off with an injury. So Souths themselves having a few injury issues again. So there was Jai Gray came onto the field, and he was actually playing on the wing. I think they also had Jai Arrow playing at dummy half in the hooker's spot. So they had a few injury Souths, throughout this game, throughout the second half, especially. And Bentley Harper, coming off, that was a bit of a blow for South. Obviously, that meaning that Jai Gray had to play on the wing, which is not his position. So he had to shift to left wing. And the Warriors did well to really expose that because from Metcalf to Harris to Vida, RTS, and yeah, he just bumps off Jai Gray, man. Look, the experience of RTS, got too fast, too strong, bumps off Jai Gray, and it's 28 points to 12. Metcalf converts this time. He converts on the sideline, and it is 30 points to the Warriors, the Rabbitohs 12. And then, look, from here on, I'm thinking, surely we can go on with the job. surely we can go on with the job. And that's how I felt. I felt relatively confident the lads would go on and get the job done. But I felt like we were completely dominant in the second half, and ourselves were just they were struggling to hang in there. Once it got to 30-12, I was thinking, geez, Souths will probably need a miracle here to come back into this. But yeah, look, with 23 minutes remaining, the feeling is, surely, that we can get over the line here. But with 23 minutes remaining, unfortunately, the Warriors again making an error after scoring points, and it's a couple of moments in this game where we've done that. And Souths, obviously they need to hit back. They didn't get another set of six. Latrell Mitchell, man, honestly, this is what I was worried about. I was stressing out because if Latrell Mitchell gets a bit of a roll on, gets a bit of confidence, we know what a player he can be. We saw that for New South Wales when he played well for New South Wales in Origin in Game 1. We saw that when Souths were, and Latrell Mitchell, and there you have it. With the play, and it was a pass that went straight over the top of the Warriors' defense. Alex Johnston goes over, and it is 30 points to 18. And with that try to Alex Johnston, he was getting closer to breaking the 200 try mark in the NRL. So, man, he is an absolute, legend of the game, Alex Johnston. He's a great player. He's been for some time. And, yeah, look, that try gave Souths a bit of a sniff at 30 points to 18. And with 20 minutes left to go, it was not over. It was not over at all for the Warriors. The Warriors need to continue to go on with the job. But yeah, then 17 minutes left. Once again, South Sydney Rabbitohs. Look, this time it was a kick from Latrell Mitchell. And yeah, look, the Warriors do not take possession. So Latrell Mitchell to Alex Johnston, and Souths go over again. And suddenly it is definitely game on at 22 points to 30. And the key note I make out of this one, look, I'd say that the fact that we dominated the opening second half, and then the Souths, I think it was really the 17 minutes remaining where Souths gained a bit of momentum. They started to feel like they could actually make a real fist of this game, make a comeback of it. And yeah, I felt like we're sort of a losing grip, control of that second half, of the back end of the 17 minutes remaining. And Latrell Mitchell really trying his hardest, as you would expect Latrell to do. And opposition fan like myself, getting really nervous because you can see Latrell really starting to, fire up. He was getting quite emotional after one of the tries. He was firing up his team. So you had this weird feeling, and you'd hope that the Warriors were able to hang on and get this win, because once Latrell gets going, he is a hard player to stop. So but 8 minutes remaining, and Latrell, look, this was probably another big moment for me, because 8 minutes remaining, the Warriors needed to stop the bleeding, stop the scoring from South after a couple of tries back to back, which has got themselves even closer to the contest. And it was Luke Metcalf with a kick. Leka Haliasima goes up to knock the ball backwards. And Harris Tavita to RTS on the outside goes over for the second try. Second try for RTS. And this is clearly when I think, right, that has to be it. That should be enough points for the Warriors to go over and win this game. 34 points to 24. Metcalf converts. Big kick by Metcalf. And it is 36 points to 24. With 5 minutes remaining, South needed to get a real quick try on the scoreboard. They needed to go short. They did go short from the kickoff. They managed to get the ball back. And then there was a penalty from there. The Warriors were caught offside. Latrell Mitchell goes over, and still South Sydney not giving up on this game at all, and Latrell not giving up on the contest, of course, with a big try, 28 points to 36. And then Latrell Mitchell converts a try, and it is 30 points to 36. And that is where the scoreboard remained. The Warriors managed to hang on for a really tough, hard-fought win against the Bunnies team, who, were fighting so hard. And what a contest it was. It was a great game of footy. Defense from both sides, probably not the greatest, to be quite honest. Just I'll look at the stats soon, but defense was just all over the place for a few of these tries. But yeah, look, it was good to see the Warriors attack gelling. It was good to see that come good, because obviously that is something that's probably been lacking this season for me so far. But here, up 30 points to 12. I think the only real negative I can point out was we were up 30 to 12, and we really should have probably gone on and made it a bit more comfortable than what it looked. And yeah, I know, I was just a bit gutted that we conceded those points and let ourselves back in it. But well, the positive for the Warriors is they're getting over the line and winning these games. And this season, that's what we've been able to do. It's another hard-fought, gritty win. So, look, obviously, I'll take it. I'm very happy with the performance. Proud of the team for hanging tough and getting across the line, because obviously last year we struggled to win these sort of games. We would have lost these type of games last year. Just looking at the scoreboard. So these games, when finals get underway, if we go into finals and there are close games like this and we win, these games are going to help us massively at the back end of the season. So obviously, from a fan point of view, I would love to see us, actually make it a bit more easier for ourselves and go on with the job at 30 to 12. And that's probably the only disappointment I probably would have out of this game, that we weren't able to keep the scoreboard going. We just, let ourselves in with a couple of tries. Latrell Mitchell had some crazy moments to get themselves back in this game. So, that's probably the only negative I can point out of this game, was the fact that, that 30 to 12 scoreline, and just not continuing on with it. But in the end, look, we still got over the line at the end of the day. We got the win. We've got to continue to improve on the aspects of our game, of course, with a few things. It's just, Webby summed it up in the press conference very well. They did lose control of the game in the second half a bit, but the gritty defence over the line from the boys, to stop, that's the thing that's been getting us wins in these games. So, yeah, exactly right, TSG. Yeah, we let it try in the 39th minute and generally lose that game. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, spot on there. Like I say, like a lot of crucial moments. We know there's so many crucial moments in this game. Big moments as well. Chance Nickel-Cook tries saver on Bentley Harper. Bentley Harper probably, really, you'd think he'd have gone over and scored that, and his foot touched the sideline. The Luke Metcalf try, which was a huge moment, because Luke we know that Souths was still quite in the contest. They were still in it, even though we had a lead in the game. But Metcalf scoring that try, was stretching our lead out. We stretched our lead out to 24 to 12 at the time. There's quite a few big moments in this game. So many of them. It's just the big thing for me to take out of this one was, this was a good game between two sides, and South Sydney, aren't, no slouches. They were sitting in the top 8 going into this game. They were sitting in 7th. So look, that's the thing. South, we know Wayne Bennett's sides are high on completion rates. They're really tough sides to, break down when they're on song. So, for me, the Warriors were able to do the things, the simple things right. And that was, in crucial moments, they come up with big plays and big moments, and they were able to get over the line in this one. So, look, very proud of the performance, very proud of the effort, and look, it was good to see us get a win. it doesn't happen too often that we win a game in Sydney over the Rabbitohs. We beat them last year, obviously, but that was a different circumstance, different team, and but we did it again. Go to Sydney, another win in Australia as well, another win away from home, which is big, massive, massive in terms of the ladder as well. So, that's huge, really huge result for me there. But yeah, 36 points to 30 was the score. What a cracking game that was. Massive, massive match. Cracking contest to kickstart Sunday footy as well, with three big games on Sunday afternoon between two informed sides. Um, yeah, lots of tries. Obviously a dry track, plenty of points scored. But yeah, what a game it was. What a game. And as a Warriors fan, can breathe a sign of relief because, geez, it was another stressful one. It was a really stressful one, wasn't it? It was a game where us fans were, on the edge of our seats once again. We seem to make a habit of it. But as long as we're getting the wins, that's all that matters at this stage. I know some people might say I know a lot of people will say we've been lucky, with some games, getting across the line. I get it, but you know, look, if you get across the line, get the win, that's all that matters. And of course, performances. Obviously, you want them to be really high standard. You want to be great. You want to be perfect. But yeah, just overall, just pretty proud with how gritty our wins have been this season so far. Just looking at our defence, our defence wasn't too great in this game, to be quite honest. Quite a few missed tackles, quite a few a few tries that maybe we probably should have done a lot better in stopping them. But obviously we did well. In a lot of our areas of the game as well. So yeah, So 5 tries themselves, man. Keon Kolomatangi, Alex Johnson as well. Massive congratulations to Alex Johnson. Scored 3 tries and he broke the record for NRL tries. So he's well up there now in terms of the try scorers. I think he's gone top of the try scoring list in history of the NRL. So massive shout out to Alex Johnson, man. He is a great player. As a neutral, always enjoyed watching Alex Johnston. But yeah, he is just such a talent, man. 3 tries in the game. Latrell Mitchell with a try. Keon Kolomatangi. Latrell Mitchell with 5 from 5 conversions. The Warriors scored 7 tries. Dylan Watini, Zelezniak, Rocco Berry, Chance Nickel Klukstad, Halasima, Luke Metcalf, Artest with a double as well, and Metcalf with 4 out of 7 conversions. Yeah, 4 out of 7, which is not ideal, not great in terms of complete conversion rate for kicks. But yeah, that is a bit of a talking point for me going out of this game is the goal kicking department at the moment, which is not been the best for the Warriors this season. We've had our issues with our goal kicking. So yeah, something that I think probably is a big thing to work on. We need to look at that, no doubt about it. But I think there's a lot of talks around it. Should Pompey be the goal kicker? He's another option. Or do we stick with Luke Metcalf? I want to hear what you guys think in the comments there. But yeah, he had a bit of a tough night with the boot, tough day with the boot as a whole. He had a bit of a mixed bag, Luke Metcalf, throughout this game. He scored a try, had a few good moments as well, but also had a few tough moments in this game. So yeah, he had a bit of a mixed bag in the game, in my opinion. But yeah, TSG's is saying Ken Irvine was the number 1 try scorer, 212. Yeah, it's a crazy record, isn't it? It's crazy. 212 tries is a remarkable record in the NRL. But yeah, look, to see Alex Johnson well up there, man, he's done such a good job. He's done such a good job throughout his career. But yeah, hello to Rich in the chat. Good to see you, Rich, in the chat. And TSG says would love a trip to New Zealand. Definitely. Go meet him at Smart Stadium is the place to be. If you'd love to go to a home game, it's always great atmosphere, always awesome going to a home game. And, I've always loved being at Warriors games at Mount Smart Stadium over the years. So definitely is trip you should go to if you want to get there. But just looking at the stats, guys. So yeah, stats wise in terms of this game, position 50-50, 50% position to the Rabbits and the Warriors 50 to the Warriors. So time and position 27 minutes and 9 seconds to the Bunnies, 27 minutes and 11 seconds to the Warriors. The completion rates were at 82% to the Rabbitohs, 33 from 40. Warriors 80%, 32 from 40. The interesting one here, all running meters. Rabbitohs 1,529. And yeah, the Warriors 1,738. Post contact meters. So the 456 to the Rabbitohs and the Warriors 544. Line breaks. Warriors 6, Rabbitohs 5, as you would expect with this being a high scoring game. There was plenty of line breaks, plenty of attacking moments. And tackle breaks, Warriors had a 29 tackle breaks for the Wars there, with the Rabbits at 34. Offloads, the Warriors 9, Rabbitohs 7. And forced dropouts, Warriors 2, Bunnies 1. Tackles made, Rabbitohs 346 tackles made. The Warriors 374 tackles made, and missed tackles were at 29 to the Rabbitohs, 34 to the Warriors. So yeah, a lot of tackles missed there by the boys here. So not the best in terms of that stat there. But 7 errors to the Rabbitohs, and the Warriors had 9 penalties conceded, which was a problem for the Warriors throughout this game. 4 penalties conceded to the Rabbitohs, 1. So 4 penalties to the Rabbitohs, 1 there. So yeah, that's not great at all. Like I say, our discipline was quite a bit of an issue throughout this game. And yeah, 4 penalties, not the best. And the Bunnies, they're only conceding 1 penalty, so which is really interesting on that front. So go back to the chat now. So read your comments through, guys. So Jazz is saying here, Charles Klugstad was an absolute warhorse. Yes, he definitely was. Jazz, he was incredible. He was awesome. A lot of people have their doubts on Chance Nickel-Klogstad, and I will say this, people underestimate what he does. He's such an underrated player. Defensively, he just gets through a lot of work, and, he makes plenty of meters, and I will read out the stats, but boy, he was absolutely outstanding, man. He was incredible. And yeah, it was just another really good performance by Chance. And I don't get why people, doubt Chance's spot in the side. I don't get it. I just think people need to have a look at what Chance brings to the table. He is just an underrated player, and he does the work so well for us. So yeah, and hello to Jose in the chat. Up the Warriors. Pour some out for Captain Barney. Yeah, it's very, very sad here with Barney, and I will definitely touch on it real soon. But man, Chance Nickel-Klugstad was bloody brilliant. He was just so bloody awesome. And yeah, I agree, Jazz, man. There's so many people that just doubt Chance Nickel-Klugstad, and I personally felt like Chance definitely had a tough year last year. I'll put my hand up and say his form wasn't great last season, but you can't doubt his courage. You can't doubt his position in the side right now. You just can't. And I know people want Tane to be the fullback. I get it. I love Tane too. I'm a massive Tane fan. But people should go back and watch this game and see what Chance has done, and the previous couple of games. You can't say that Chance doesn't deserve to be in the side. So, and Webby always backs him as well. He always backs him. That's the thing with Webby. Webby just, doesn't matter what people say. Chance is always the fullback, right? He's always been backed by the Warriors coaching staff there. So, but yeah, speaking of man of the match now for this game, my man of the match. Now, I'm obviously going to give it to one particular player, and it really is not a question of doubt. It's for me, Chance Nickel-Klugstad. Now, C&K gets my man of the match. And just reading his stats, 28 all runs, 339 all running meters, 95 kick return meters, 97 post contact meters, one line break for Chance Nickel Klukstad. CNK, man, if you look at those stats, that is just workhorse effort. Workhorse effort all around the field. Had some big moments throughout this game. And yeah, he was my man of the match for me. So I'm going to give Chance Neil Cookstart my man of the match. But yeah, guys, I want to hear your man of the match in the comments. Who do you reckon should be man of the match? Who was your Warriors player of the game? Your man of the match, put it in the YouTube comments down below. But I'm giving it to Chance Nickel Klukstad there, CNAC. My other second option, I'll give it to RTS. RTS is my second option at number 2. And then I thought Jackson Ford had a very solid game, and he is my third player. So that's my top 3. Chance Nickel Klukstad, RTS, and Jackson Ford. They are my top 3 for the man of the match. Warriors player of the match for the game. So that's my top 3 for the game. And of course, RTS also had a bit of a really good game too, with two line breaks, 21 runs, 168 running meters. He also scored 2 tries, 21 kick return meters as well. So RTS also was a standout in this game. I thought also with the forwards, obviously with Barnett coming off was tough. So Ford, had a very good game, standout game as well. I thought. Clark, also Nia Corey also had a pretty decent game, I thought, in particular. And Haliasima as well, coming off the bench. Some solid work with Haliasima and Valmoanga as well. Two really good, impactful players off the bench for me. So yeah, Charleston Cooks, I just couldn't go past his performance. I really couldn't. Getting it back into the chat. So Mikhail is saying here, I think if the Warriors can play full aim, it's the top 4 team this year. They seem to ease up in the second half most games. Yep, Mikhail, I think so too. We obviously need to be obviously a couple of areas like that we've still got to improve on. Our attack's another thing. Our attack was a lot better in this game, but if we can put both attack defense into a performance, then we're gonna be a lot more convincing on the scoreline. But at the moment, of course, we're just grinding out wins. So yeah, hopefully we can string those performances together. But I'm sure we will. There. Chance New Cookstow reserve. Yeah, exactly right. The respect he deserves. And Chance New Cookstow man of the match. And just to go over your comments. Mel is saying here, I think what's letting us down is that we don't contest the high balls enough. Then we often get caught out in the fifth tackle options. Yes, that was a bit of a worry. Throughout this game, we seem to do that quite often. And I agree with you, Mel. We need to sort that one out. We need to make sure we are contesting those high balls and not letting those bounce. It's a bit of a concern, bit of a worry, but hopefully we can sort that one out, and I think we can. But you're not wrong on that one. We need to be able to sort that sort of stuff out. Tahi Bros saying, yeah, we're an endurance team now. Yeah, our fitness is good. Our match fitness is good enough. If we're able to hang on in games and close games, and that's definitely showing it with our match fitness. So it's good to see that we are able to do that. It's really good because if we don't, if we aren't able to close out games, then we're not getting results. So. But we're still getting across the line, and that's the thing. So, yeah, that's absolutely spot on, though. That's absolutely spot on with our endurance there. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers up on the game, guys. And that pretty much covers it up my thoughts on the whole aspects of the game. But there were some talking points coming out of it too. So I'll actually get into the talking points, and this one here. So Mitchell Barnett, and I've just we heard the news with Mitchell Barnett. Um, Now, this is a big blow for us. It is a massive blow. And it's so gutting. It's sad to hear that Mitchell Barnett has got an ACL injury. It's just been confirmed today. Now, this means that someone else has to step up. It means that we need, the likes of Fisher Harris. We need someone like maybe a Tanner Smith comes in, or a Jackson Ford must come into the lineup. But there are options. I think there are options going forward. Obviously, very gutted about Barney. I hope he has a speedy recovery, and I hope he, has a quick recovery and he's back on the field soon, because it's not good news at all. Really sad to see, because obviously with the experience he brings to the table, we know he's been so consistent for us. For Yeah, for a lot of the season, he's been really very consistent. Obviously, last year as well, he had a great season last year. A bit of a blow for New South Wales as well. Although I don't think New South Wales should be too worried. They've got plenty of options moving forward. So not really that big of a blow for them, to be quite honest. But it's a big blow for us, more so because, yeah, look, you know, man, look, we can't buy a trick with injuries. Every season we think we've got a fully fit side coming back, and then suddenly we get an injury to one of our key forwards. So it's really just gutting. It's really just gutting to see. But it does mean that it's the next man up mentality. We've just got to have faith in our Warriors fans. We've just got to, I know it's sad, it's not good, but we've just got to believe that someone like a Jackson Ford can step up to the plate. I'm sure that's what the team's mentality will be up, the next man up mentality. So there'll be no excuses for us, no doubt about it. And, Ford can come into the side. Ford's done a pretty reasonable job since he's come back. Since he's back in the side, he's had his form wasn't great last season, but he's really turned around his performances this year. So, I do agree that Jackson Ford can come in, and I think he can do a job. And Mel's right. Yeah, he's been outstanding. I have to put my hats off to Jackson Ford, because look, I'll admit, I was his biggest critic last year due to his form, and I personally felt like his form wasn't good enough, to be quite honest. But since he's come back to the side this year, his form has really turned around. It's great to see. So, and I'm happy to see him, do that. So, he has been, he has been outstanding, and I think you're right, Mel. I think he doesn't get enough credit this season for his performances. So, I think Ford can come in. You've got Tanner Smith as well. Another player that can come into the side. You've got some options there. Yes, it's not Barnett. I get it. Barnett's not. Barnett is a big blow. But you've got to look at it from the other side of things. That with the likes of Ford can come in. You've got Bunty as well. Bunty's another option moving forward into the side. So you've got your options there. But Jackson Ford, I think, will probably be our starting prop moving forward. And he's going to take that role from Barnett. And yeah, he's going to be in the starting side moving forward, I think, personally. But yeah, if Ford has an injury, which hopefully, fingers crossed, that doesn't happen. Let's hope not. But you've also got Tanner Smith as well that could come in. You got Bunty as well that could come in. So you got choices there. But man, I just wish speedy recovery to Mitchell Barnett. I just wish he has a speedy recovery, and hope he recovers well. And yeah, hope he's back on the field soon. I really do. But yeah, it's and Ford is adjusted well for the position. And he definitely does. He definitely has been on that one for sure. He definitely does. Tahi Bro is just said here that Rocco's injury. Yeah, Tahi, I've just actually just going off the Warriors website. I've seen no news on Rocco being injured. Now I know he's had his unfortunate injury blows this season and last season as well. So, man, every time the guy gets hit, my heart just breaks. He gets a lot of knocks. So, man, I hope it's not one of those another serious injuries that keeps him out for another couple of weeks, couple of months. But man, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be so shocked. I wouldn't be shocked there. But you know, at the moment, there seems to be no news on Rocco Berry. I've looked at the Warriors website. He's not on the injury report at the moment. I could be wrong once I've finished the stream and it is updated. But yeah, well, look, if he is injured again, it'll be real gutting to hear. But it wouldn't be shocked, to be honest. So. And CJ's in the chat. Hello, CJ. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Congrats on the win for your bunnies. Congratulations on a great game, CJ. Yeah, not a good. Obviously, heartbreaking for your boys to not get the result, but it was a good game. It was a real good game, and you guys made a real good good fist of it. So you should be proud of your boys. But hopefully, the bunnies can beat the Raiders this week. Because as a Warriors fan, of course, I would love to see the bunnies get up over the Raiders and us to beat the Sharks, so we can go back to second on the ladder. So hopefully that does happen this weekend. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it up on Mitchell Barnett. I think I've really said what I need to say. But like I say, I think the next man up mentality, Fisher Harris, Jackson Ford, time to have a big time to step up. And have a big impact, because obviously we're going to miss Barnett, but we need all these other players to step up to the table and show the same impact as what Barney could bring. But obviously they're not Barney, but we need a real big team effort, and I'm sure we're going to get that. We're sure we're going to get that, but it's really gutting. Obviously, it's really gutting, but yeah. All right, so just want to touch on a few other things also. So, guys, make sure you like the live stream as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the live stream, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. It was all much appreciated. So, Warriors are now 9 wins and 3 losses. So, with the Sharks to come, are the Warriors on their way to finishing in the top 4? Now, look, it's only after round 13. We're sitting in a good position at the moment, 9 wins and 3 losses. I'd say with our next bye coming up, if we can, get a win over the Sharks, that'll be massive. That'll be huge for us. Also, that's on the road this week as well. It's in Sydney, so that is not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a tough one. Another test for the boys there. But if we can get a win in that game, I think that sets us up for a top 4 finish. And then, of course, with the bye coming up, and then we've got the Panthers after the bye, and then the Broncos at Suncorp. So we've got a few games coming up there on that one. But look, I think we're on our way to finishing the top 4. I think we can, if we can get a few wins in the next couple of weeks, we should be comfortably sitting that top 4 after the couple of buys finish off there. Mel's asking here, am I the only one who thinks James Fisher Harris hasn't done much? I think James Fisher Harris has, had a pretty I think he's been all right. He hasn't done massively a lot in terms of impact, but obviously he's had a few moments. He's had a few moments there, but I don't know. Yeah, look, he's probably not had as big of an impact as what I would have thought, but I think maybe off the field he's probably had a bit of impact as well. So, Tahi, bro, saying here is I'm not too sure, Tahi, bro. I'm actually not sure on that one. I think Fanua Blake and Hazelton. I think Fanua Blake should be back. I think she should be playing. I could be wrong though. There, but yeah. Don't really know on that one. But yeah, so that's so I think the Warriors just looking at it now. So just a couple more things I want to touch on before I wrap it up. So goal kicking is another thing I want to. I've already mentioned the goal kicking, so I won't touch on that again. But Also, I want to touch on the other grades, our other grades on the weekend. So, New South Wales Cup wrap. So, recap, the Warriors stay top of the New South Wales Cup table with another impressive win. So, they won 22 points to 6 at Redfern Oval in Sydney. So, the boys are looking really strong at the moment, especially that reserve grade side. New South Wales Cup side only lost one game this season. That was to the Newtown Jets. And the New South Wales Cup side has been a lot of impressive performances. So if anyone who hasn't watched our New South Wales Cup team, go and check out the highlights on Warriors Anonymous YouTube channel. So shout out to them. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, man, a lot of great standout players throughout that grade so far. And Tane Tuapiki had a very strong performance. He scored a try in that game. 215 all running meters, 17 all runs, 70 kick return meters, 42 post contact meters, one try assist, and 9 tackle breaks as well. And also Moala Graham Talfa as well, 136 all running meters. And he is going to South Sydney next season, and he had 50 post contact meters. Tanner Boyd as well had a massive one with his kicking game as well, controlling the game. And also Sam Healy was also strong in that game as well. So the New South Wales Cup side at the moment are absolutely killing it. And yeah, they've also got a game again this weekend, I believe, over in Sydney as well. So they are looking really good at the moment. It's good to see that our reserve grade side is doing so well. That shows that the depth at the club at the moment is really good. It's something that we have lacked for a couple of years is the depth, and we haven't been able to have as much depth as we have right now. So it's good to see the New South Wales Cup side going along well. They're building some strong performances. There's been some games where they've not been easy as well. They've scored a lot of points, but they've also defending quite well in that competition as well. So it's a really stacked New South Wales Cup lineup. And last week was a stacked one in itself. 22 points to 6 was a really convincing win by the boys over at Redfern Oval in Sydney. So big shout out to the Cup side. And yeah, glad Boyd is staying. Yeah, absolutely. And some rumours going around about Tanner Boyd. And Tanner Boyd is actually deciding to stay at the club. So there's some rumours going around that he was going to head to the Cowboys, and a few other NRL clubs were going after him. But yeah, Tanner Boyd is actually staying at the Warriors. New South Wales Cup side, from what I've heard. Yeah, and Hansen as well. Absolutely, Hansen is another good young prospect, playing the halves for the New South Wales Cup side. He's also been playing a few games with Jet Cleary in as well this season as well, which is good to see. So another player from the Penrith system as well, Hansen. He has been very, very solid for the Cup side this season there. But it's great to see that the Cup side, just looking at the depth at the moment, it's been so good. It's been so good to see that we have some players to call upon if we do have injuries and suspensions. So yeah, big shout out to the Cup side, and yeah, they're doing very well at the moment. Now to the Jersey Flag Cup side. So we'll touch on the Jersey Flag Cup under 21s, and again, another win for the club this weekend. So the Warriors club as a whole went 3 from 3 in all grades. Incredible stuff. Great achievement to see the club do so well with 3 wins across the weekend. And Jet Cleary making a return to the Jersey Flag under 21 side. And the Warriors winning this game 30 points to 26 down there at Redfern Oval over the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And Jet Cleary making a big impact on return as well. Some strong performance overall. A lot of those plays in particular, and it was good to see them. They've had a slow start to the season, this Flag Cup side, but they've actually grown over the past couple of months. Their performances are starting to get a lot better, and they are definitely showing some improvements. TJ Ashford, big shout out to TJ Ashford, who is the Harold Matthews Cup Premiership winning coach, and he has actually taken over the head coaching role at the Jersey Flag under 21s, and they had another good solid win here with 30 points to 26 as well. they really had to tough it out too, and they had to make a bit of a comeback. So big shout out to the Jersey Flag Cup under 21s, guys. If you want to catch the highlights, go and check out the highlights on Warriors Anonymous YouTube channel there. But the Jersey Flag side definitely showing a lot of improvement now over the past couple of months, and it's good to see some of these young prestigious talents on the side of the field, man. Great talented players, and yeah, they're really showing some improvement, man. They really are there. So, but yeah, that wraps it up, guys. That pretty much wraps it up. That's my review done. The Sharks this weekend. I've got a really special guest joining me tomorrow night on the YouTube channel, and that will be Dan from Rugby League Outlaws, Cronulla Sharks fan, and yeah, we're going to preview the Warriors Sharks Tuesday night, so that'll be 7 p.m. Australian time, 9 p.m. New Zealand time, guys, here on the channel. So if you want to watch that, we'll be previewing the Warriors Sharks, and yeah, make sure you tune in for that one if you can. But that pretty much wraps it up, everyone. That wraps up my review. And also my little chat about the talking points after the game, and also touch on the pathways and the New South Wales Cup. So yeah, just all I gotta say is, man, look, Warriors fans, this team is really, gonna be showing some great promise throughout the season. We're sitting third on the table, 9 wins and 3 losses. Should be all proud of the way this team has been going so far. And yeah, look, I'm very happy with the performances. But look, we haven't been perfect, but we can continue to get better, and we can continue to, step up our effort areas. But other than that, I can't be too disappointed at the moment. How we're going, 9 wins and 3 losses. You can't be disappointed. You can't be critical at the moment of where we're going. But that wraps it up, guys. Like the stream, hit that like button on the stream. As Tahi Bro says, like the stream, please hit that thumbs up button, guys. It takes only a second. Yeah, if you are watching it back, just go back and click that thumbs up button, or if you haven't done so already, click that like button right now. Click that thumbs up button. Share the live stream. Subscribe to the channel as well. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow night, like I said, and up the Wars, go the Warriors, up the Wars, and thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Up the Wars.